The last time we talked about something that most of you like, food. But today I'm going to talk about something that you may not even want to hear the mention of. The waste product of food. You guessed it right, your poop. But your poop is not just a waste, or is not just completely useless, because it can save lives and earn you some cash. But how? Welcome to this episode of If You Don't Know, Now You Know. The alimentary canal, also known as the gastrointestinal tract, abbreviated as GI Tract, is the tract that runs from your mouth to the anus, and it's made up of organs such as the mouth, esophagus, stomach, your large intestines, small intestines, rectum, and even the anus. Along the GI tract, there live thousands of microbacteria that we call good gut microbes. They perform or help in specific functions, for example, host nutrient metabolism, xenobiotic and drug metabolism, maintenance of structural integrity of the mucosal barrier, immunomodulation and protection against pathogens. Also, gut microbes helps us break down complex molecules in meats and vegetables, thereby we absorb nutrients and energy by the help of gut microbes. For example, without gut microbe, plant cellulose would be indigestible. However, conditions that require treatment with antimicrobials may end up killing off these good gut microbes along the GI tract, giving an upper hand to harmful microorganisms that may cause diseases along the gastrointestinal tract. For example, Clostridium difficile that causes Clostridium difficile colitis in the colon may be accompanied by diarrhea, cramps, and even sometimes fever, but diagnosis is based on stool DNA samples that helps to detect the organism or the positive organism. It can also cause life-threatening conditions, for example, toxic megacolon, where the colon becomes dangerously enlarged. Treatment of Clostridium difficile. On the first line, we always have antimicrobials. We prescribe antibiotics. We may prescribe vancomycin, we may prescribe metronidazole, or we may prescribe fidaxomicin. Treatment of Clostridium difficile can become a dirty work to speak, because 20 to 60% of these patients report recurrent infection. This is because Clostridium difficile can become resistant to antimicrobials or antibiotics. So we call such bacteria superbug. Other examples are MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and vancomycin-resistant Enterococcus. Treatment of recurrent infection is antimicrobial still. We prescribe antibiotics against or that target the organism Clostridium difficile. But if this fails, then your book could be the answer. We use a procedure called fecal microbiota transplant, or also known as a stool transplant or bacterial therapy. It involves transfer of stool from one healthy individual to another one to change the gut microbial composition, or for the purpose of treating recurrent Clostridium difficile colitis. Don't get too much excited, because not every book can be donated. Researchers noted that some people's stool worked better than the others. In a report, the super donor phenomenon fecal microbiota transplant was published on scientific platform Frontiers, and found out that some people's feces, known as or dubbed as super poop, were especially effective in combating some gut infection. There are a number of things that they will consider for you to become an eligible donor. They will look at your history of antibiotics. If you had any antibiotic or antibiotic therapy for the past 6 months, then you are not an eligible donor. Immunosuppressed or immunocompromised, you are not an eligible donor. History of drug abuse. Sorry for the smokers and the alcohol drinkers, you cannot donate. If you have had any piercing or tattooing for the past 6 months, sorry, you cannot donate. History of high sexual behaviors. History of incarceration. If you have recently traveled to high endemic areas, you are not an eligible donor. History of inflammatory bowel diseases, for example, ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, you are not an eligible donor. You need screening to check for infectious pathogens, blood test to check for hepatitis A, B, and C, serology to check for HIV and RPR, stool test to check for ova and parasites, Clostridium difficile PCR test, culture and sensitivity cardiac antigen. There are many ways that this good bacteria can be introduced into the colon. One approach is using a colonoscopy. The stool is blended with a solution of normal saline, and then using a colonoscope, the solution is applied to the entire length of the colon. This technique has cured more than 92% of Clostridium difficile infections with no complications. There are researches that have been done to see or to confirm if this procedure can be effective in treating other GI-related infections or diseases. Emma Ellen Barker, a professor in the field of molecular and cellular biology at the University of Ghent, is trying to develop a Clostridium difficile treatment by studying superpoop bacterium. That's according to the CBC. The pill, which is made up of 40 species from superpoop, is under clinical trials. Ellen believes that this could help treat other GI infections, and also it will be more convenient than using stool. We come to the part that most of you wanted to hear. Is this stool donation free? Open Biome non-profit bank located in Massachusetts, Cambridge in United States. You can go search it online. I saw online that they are looking for healthy donors to provide life-saving treatment for patients with Clostridium difficile. The donors are reimbursed with $60 per stool for their energy and time. And a typical Open Biome donor makes about $250 a month. So your poop is not completely useless. It can save lives and also add some figures to your bank account and also pay for your bills or rent. Next time you know where to take your stool, don't leave it to the exhauster. Now you're in the know. My name is Sam. Stay happy and stay safe. Thank you.